Can the AR-15 be a precision platform? Let's talk about that. Welcome to the Patriot Training YouTube channel. My name is Clay Howell. I am the owner and head firearms instructor at Patriot Training. The purpose of this video is to examine whether or not the AR-15 can be a precision platform. In a very troubling turn of events, just under 2 weeks ago as of the time of the release of this video, there was an assassination attempt against one of the individuals who is running for president. And many gun guys on social media and other places started pointing out once the shooter was thankfully shot, and once the weapon identified and everything, and it was identified to be an AR-15, many gun guys were saying that for the given shot, which was about 150 yards, that an AR-15 is a subpar platform for precision at that range. And many more were also pointing out that their deer rifle was better than that, etc., etc. And y'all, this is the kind of stuff that we have to deal with. And let's shed some light on these facts. And of course, we must start by disavowing any and all political violence. That's just not called for. You don't try to shoot someone because you have different political opinions. The firearm is used for recreation. It's used for sport. It's used for hunting. A firearm could be used in self-defense, and a firearm is most certainly useful for the removal of tyranny. And none of these things applied at that moment in time, not even close. So the actions were completely reprehensible. And although I intend fully to vote for the individual who was shot, the fact of the matter is I would not wish the same fate on the opponent, whomever that might be, because we are not sure who that will be at this point in time. And, I'm certainly going to disagree with the opponent on many, many different issues, but it doesn't mean that I want harm to come to them. So let's get that out of the way right here, right now. This is strictly a question of physics and capability of a firearms platform. Can an AR-15 make a shot on something that's about 6 inches wide and about 9 inches tall, give or take, at that 150-yard marker? Or would a deer rifle or some other rifle be a better choice? The first AR-15 we're going to evaluate, and I took this evaluation with several different ones. The first one is a 16-inch rifle with a heavy barrel, so somewhat accurized. However, the ammunition I used was 55 grain bulk ammunition, which is the most commonly available at most stores that sell ammunition. And although the barrel will impart a little bit more accuracy here than just your standard off-the-shelf AR, it is not going to suddenly turn this ammunition into match-grade ammunition. Don't make that mistake. So here you can see I'm lining up for my shots and taking 3 shots at the target. One shot could be a miss, it could be a hit. It doesn't tell us anything. The scientific method tells us that the results of a single experiment are never taken as gospel truth. You need multiple experiments to start forming a conclusion. And as you can see here on the target, those 3 shots hit that 6-inch by 6-inch piece of cardboard, and these would certainly be acceptable for the task at hand. Next up, I'm using my variation on an M16A4. It's been a little bit customized off of a pure clone. This rifle has an A2 style barrel, so nothing particularly accurate. It also sports an ACOG scope, which is certainly not a precision optic. And during the day when I was shooting this, I remember very well that the reticle, which has not only tritium to light it up at night, but it also has the filament to capture the ambient daylight to illuminate the reticle for close-up shooting. The reticle was blooming a little bit. Although it was an overcast day, it was bright enough outside that I could not get a refined crosshair view, And that's okay. I know how to put a piece of tape over the top of my ACOG. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose is I wanted to shoot, assuming as close as we could to just some general conditions. Let's say it's somebody that didn't know how to do that. And so here you can see I square up. I take my my 3 shots. Also to point out, on this M16A4 clone this day, I was using 55 grain ammunition. Again, the bulk ammunition, so nothing special, nothing fancy. And here are the results on the target, and as you can see, all 3 shots hit that 6" by 6" square on that piece of cardboard. Last but not least, I'm going to use my Mark 12 clone. With the this rifle, I'm going to be shooting match grade ammunition, and it is 77 grain, and it is, in my rifle, it tends to be about 1 minute of angle of accuracy, and so at 150 yards, I would expect that this would be able to keep a group of 1.5 inches or smaller. And so you can see me getting behind the rifle and situating up for 3 well-aimed shots here. And here are the shots from the SPR rifle. As you can see, all of them inside of 1.25 inches, as expected, and most certainly capable of making a shot on a 6" by 6" piece of cardboard at 150 yards. What about the common trend about thinking that a deer rifle would be good for this? Well, most deer rifles I've seen, be they 308, 270, 30-06, name your brand, your deer rifle that you spent less than $400 on, has a barrel that's tapered. It gets narrower as it gets to the end. And what happens is this barrel will actually flex and whip when you fire it. All barrels do. And a narrower barrel whips and flexes more than a thicker barrel. This is how these things work. I didn't create it. I simply am observing a naturally occurring phenomenon. The more they whip and flex, the less accurate they are. It is just a fact. And so it's my observation with hunting ammunition, which tends not to be that accurate to begin with, 2 to 3 minutes of angle, and using a tapered barrel, most shooters tend to struggle to keep a 4 or 5 minute of angle group with hunting rifles and hunting barrels. Now, I have a hunting rifle. It's an old 270. And you know what? With hunting ammunition, if I can squeeze out a 4 MOA group, that would be awesome. That would be, the best kind of shooting I could do with that rifle. That's as good as it gets. And 4 minutes of angle at 150 yards would be about a 6" by 6" group. So it would be marginally acceptable for this task. It would not be ideal. If you get a rifle with a stiffer barrel, for example, I have a Ruger rifle that's a bolt action with a stiffer barrel, and here's a picture of a group that I can get with this rifle at 100 yards, and you can see it's about a 2 to 3 minute angle group, and it could hypothetically also do the task at 150. Certainly there are precision bolt rifles that could make that shot very easily, very well, every bit as well as my SPR. That's for sure. I own a Ruger precision bolt action 6.5, and it might be the most accurate rifle I have, and that most certainly would be up to the task. However, everybody always thinks it's got to be one of these, and I'm here to tell you that, you know what, in most of your NRA high power matches, they are dominated by accurized AR-15s. Most of your PRS matches, Precision Rifle Series matches, most of those are dominated by precision AR-15s. The simple fact of the matter is the precision AR can, with the right ammunition, can very easily be a 1 minute of angle gun, some of them even better, and that can shoot more than well enough for the vast majority of applications that they are pressed into. And there are also precision AR platforms that shoot 6.5, that shoot 308, and other cartridges as well, and they perform very well also. In conclusion, it's very obvious. The AR-15 is an excellent choice. If you wish to shoot a 6-inch by 6-inch target at 150 yards, it is more than capable of doing that. Even with bulk ammo, even with a not-so-special scope, it will make that shot very easily. And you know what? It will do so better than most hunting rifles that you buy off the shelf. And, you know, it's an old myth that the AR-15 is not accurate. I will tell you this, green tip ammunition is not accurate, so if that's what you're using and you don't have a free-floated barrel, well, then that can kind of tell you a few things. But that said, you know, it's a perfectly acceptable platform. It's one of the better ones out there. It's why I teach mostly with an AR-15 in most of the classes I teach. So don't sleep on this model. And you know what? If you'd like to learn how to better use your AR and wring all of the accuracy out of that, one of the classes we offer is Expert Rifleman, and in this class we take your regular AR with a regular LPVO or ACOG or Prism scope or something like that, a regular 4, 6, 8 power scope, bulk ammunition like your 55 grain, and we will take that out beyond 300 yards. You'll make hits all day long. We'll make you a very, very accurate rifleman. That's why it's called Expert Rifleman. We will turn you into that expert. We also offer a sniper class where you bring an accurized rifle and precision ammunition, and you really learn what that rifle is truly capable of, and it will surprise a great many of you, that's for sure. Well, what are your thoughts? Did I hit all the points you like? Do you have a point that you feel invalidates something I said? Do you have some anecdote to the contrary? Do you feel I missed something? Put it down there in the comments. We welcome comments of all sorts as long as they're not targeted harassment of somebody. Want to hear from you. Want to learn something new. If you've got something new that you don't think I know, please tell me. I'd love to learn. I'd like to remind you to click like, click subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can find out when the new Patriot Training videos are dropped. And as always, I'd like to encourage you and remind you that you don't have to be a Patriot to train, but you do have to train if you want to be a Patriot. Take care.